My friends, my fellow strivers, do you feel it in your very bones? That creeping paralysis I call the curse of waiting for the perfect moment? Or perhaps it is that chilling fear of acting without another's approval, a silent plea for permission that never comes. Or, most insidiously, do you suffer the most common affliction of all, the mistaken belief that great opportunities are a matter of blind luck, not deliberate creation? These are not mere abstract notions. They are the heavy chains of inaction that bind the human spirit. They leave your God-given greatness to languish in the cold, damp prison of doubt. But I say to you, no more, break these chains. In this address I will hand you the key. I will show you precisely how to forge your own opportunity and command your own magnificent destiny. The great thinker Arnold poses a question that should send a jolt of lightning through your very soul. It is a question that should echo in the halls of your ambition. He speaks of the young surgeon, one who has waited, studied, and experimented in the quiet shadows, preparing for a day he knew must come. Suddenly, the critical moment arrives. The master surgeon is away, time is a tyrant, and a life hangs by a single fragile thread. Can he do it? Can he fill the great man's place? This, my friend, is not merely a question for a surgeon. It is the question life asks of you every single day. Your opportunity, your great challenge, confronts you face to face. Shall you confess your inadequacy and shrink back into the shadows, or shall you step into the arena, seize the instrument, and claim your victory? The choice is yours, and yours alone. Every moment of hesitation is a grand betrayal of the giant that sleeps within you. Fortune, fame, and influence are not trinkets handed out by a whimsical fate. They are the spoils of war, the victor's crown, awarded only to the prepared mind and the daring hand. Are you prepared? I do not ask if you have a university degree or a pocket full of recommendations. Those are mere papers. I ask if you have honed your mind into a sharp-edged tool, if you have sharpened your skills until they are second nature, and if you have cultivated a spirit so resilient that it sees not a crisis, but a coronation. The world is tragically filled with individuals of remarkable, yet wasted, talent who are forever standing on the platform, waiting for a train that has already left the station. They were not ready when the whistle blew. Do not tell me that opportunity must knock. That is a comforting fable told to children and the timid. I tell you, opportunity does not knock. It whispers, it hints. It presents itself as a tangled problem to be solved, a profound wrong to be righted. It is a fleeting shadow that only the watchful, prepared eye can perceive. Consider the scene on that London street. A boy lies bleeding, his life draining away with each weakening pulse. A crowd gathers, a perfect symphony of helplessness. They see only the gruesome tragedy. They wring their hands, they cry out in shallow pity. They wait for someone, anyone, to do something. Their eyes are wide open, but they are blind to the opportunity that is concealed within the very heart of the crisis. But then, a boy, Astley Cooper, sees differently. He is of the crowd, but not like the crowd. He does not wait for a physician. He does not poll the panicked mob for their opinion. He sees what must be done, and he acts with audacious immediacy. With a simple handkerchief, a tool available to anyone, he applies pressure and arrests the mortal flow. In a flash, he turns chaos into order. He transforms a moment of potential death into a moment of defiant life. And what happens? The praise he receives for this single, decisive act ignites a fire within him. It does not merely save a life, it creates a life, the life of the foremost surgeon of his day. That, my friend, is the explosive power of a single, prepared, audacious act. Now, turn your gaze to the prisons of England, to the infamous Newgate in 1813. I want you to witness a scene of human despair that would break the strongest heart and curdle the blood. Imagine 300 to 400 women, many of them half naked, huddled together in a single, reeking ward. There are no beds, no bedding, nothing but the cold floor on which they sleep in their own filth and rags. The government provides a stale crust of bread merely to keep them from death's door, but cares nothing for their souls, their dignity, their future. They are a howling mob of forgotten humanity, dismissed by the respectable world as wild beasts. Who would dare to see an opportunity in such a pit of misery? Who could possibly find a diamond in that horrific rough? A Quaker lady, Mrs. Elizabeth Fry, that is who. Where others saw only irredeemable criminals, she saw crushed potential. Where the world heard a meaningless, animalistic roar, she heard a desperate human cry for help. She did not merely write an eloquent letter to the government and then congratulate herself on her fine sentiment. She did not wait for a committee to be formed or a consensus to be reached. She took it upon herself to act. She walked into that lion's den herself. She faced the howling mob not with fear, but with a revolutionary idea. An idea so simple, so profound, it stunned them into silence. She did not offer them pity, she offered them a purpose. Think of the sheer audacity of her proposal. She told these women, whom society had utterly discarded, that she wished to establish a school right there, in the midst of their squalor, for the young women and girls. And then came the masterstroke of genius, the revolutionary move that unlocked their dormant humanity. She asked them to select a schoolmistress from their own number. Imagine it! She gave them responsibility, she gave them trust. She treated them not as wild beasts, but as collaborators in their own salvation. And who did they choose? A young woman committed for stealing a watch. They chose one of their own who they believed could rise above her station, and in doing so, began to believe it for themselves. And the result? A miracle born not of some mysterious divine intervention, but of focused, courageous human action. In a mere 3 months, the time it takes for seasons to change, these wild beasts became harmless, kind, and productive citizens within their own small world. The reform, born from the singular vision of one woman who dared, became a wildfire of positive change. It spread with such force that the government itself had no choice but to legalize the system she created. Good women throughout Great Britain became inspired, not by a government mandate, but by the undeniable proof that change was possible. An entire movement was born from a single act of seeing opportunity where everyone else saw only ruin. 80 years have passed since that day, and her plan, her vision, her opportunity seized from the very jaws of despair, has been adopted throughout the civilized world. Think of it. The lives of millions, utterly transformed across generations, because one person refused to accept the miserable reality presented to her. She looked at a cesspool of human suffering and resolved, with an unbreakable will, to plant a garden. This is the immutable law of life. The universe does not reward the passive observer or the timid critic. It lavishes its greatest treasures upon the active participant, the one who brings a solution, the one who imposes a new, better pattern upon the chaos of the world. Now let us invent a new story, a modern parable for our time. Imagine a young programmer, Clara, working deep within a vast, soulless corporation. She notices a colossal inefficiency, a tangled flaw in the core system that costs the company millions each year in wasted time and frustrated effort. Her colleagues complain about it endlessly during their lunch breaks. They write memos that gather digital dust, unread. They have accepted this flaw as a permanent feature of their landscape, like bad weather. They see the problem, yes, but they have already conceded defeat in their hearts. They are waiting for a hero, for a new CEO, for some mandate from on high. They are waiting for that train that has already left the station. But Clara, this student of life, this modern Marden disciple, has been preparing. In her spare time, not on the company's clock but on her own, she's been sharpening her tools. She's been learning a new coding language. She's been studying system architecture. She's been preparing her mind for a battle no one else knew was coming. So instead of complaining, she begins to build. Night after night, fueled by black coffee and an unconquerable will, she designs a solution in secret. A clean, elegant patch that untangles the knot completely. She does not ask for permission. She does not form a committee. She forges her opportunity in the sacred fires of her own initiative. Then comes the day of crisis. The system suffers a catastrophic failure, precisely because of the flaw everyone ignored. Panic erupts like a contagion. Executives are shouting. The stock price is plummeting on a tide of red ink. The moment of truth has arrived, uninvited and terrible. This is the young surgeon's operating table. This is Clara's Newgate prison. And while everyone else is scrambling to assign blame, To find a scapegoat, Clara steps forward into the breach. She does not say, "I told you so." She says, with calm authority, "I have a solution." In that instant, she is no longer a junior cog in a vast machine. She is the most important person in the entire corporation. Do you see the pattern? The threads that connect Astley Cooper, Elizabeth Fry, and our modern Clara. It is the law of prepared action. The universe conspires to assist the man or woman who has done the work before the opportunity arrives. Luck is the residue of design. It is the harvest that grows only from seeds planted in the soil of discipline and watered with the sweat of initiative. To the unprepared mind, the cry of fire in a theater is a signal for panic. To the prepared mind, it is a signal to locate the nearest exit and lead others to safety. Same event, different preparation, entirely different outcome. The human will is a force of nature, as real and as powerful as electricity or gravity. But it lies dormant, useless, until it is focused on a single definite purpose. A magnifying glass lying carelessly on a newspaper on a sunny day does nothing. But hold it steady, concentrate the sun's brilliant rays onto one single point, and that paper will soon burst into flame. Most people live their lives with a scattered focus, their precious mental energy diffused over 1,000 petty worries and trivial pursuits. They wonder why their lives lack power, why they never seem to make their mark. They possess the magnifying glass, my friends, but they are leading it in the shade. You must focus your will. You must burn your way to success. The world pays for one thing, and one thing only, a solution. It does not pay for complaints. It does not pay for excuses. It does not pay for, "I'm not ready." It pays for the person who can step into a situation of confusion and bring clarity. It pays for the person who can take a set of broken pieces and build something new. It pays for the person who can stand at a fork in the road and carve a new path forward. Your value, your income, your legacy will be in direct proportion to the size of the problems you are prepared to solve. Do not run from problems, hunt them. For within every problem is the seed of your next great triumph. Consider the chasm of difference in mental attitude. The average person prays for an easy life. They wish for fewer obstacles, for a smoother road, for the wind to always be at their back. What a pauper's prayer! The champion, the creator, the history maker prays for strength. They pray for a challenge worthy of their powers. They do not wish the mountain were smaller. They work to make their own abilities greater. The obstacle is not your enemy. It is your sparring partner. It is the very thing that builds the muscle of your character and the resilience of your spirit. To wish away your challenges is to wish away your own growth, to pray for a life of perpetual infancy. Every day you are making a choice. With every hour you spend in aimless distraction, you are voting for mediocrity. With every book you fail to read, with every new skill you neglect to learn, you are casting a ballot for unpreparedness. Conversely, with every hour you dedicate to focused effort, to deep practice, to preparing your mind and body, you are voting for success. You are conditioning your own subconscious mind. You are telling the universe that you are ready. Success is not an event that happens to you. It is a verdict that you earn, one preparatory act at a time. The world is crying out for the person who can do things, not for the person who knows how they ought to be done. There are 10,000 critics for every one doer. There are whole libraries filled with theories on how to win battles, written by men who never saw a day of combat. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Your mind can be a magnificent palace of ideas, but if the doors are locked and the drawbridge is up, it is nothing more than a beautiful prison. You must throw open the gates. You must translate thought into action. You must take what you know and make it work. Think of the sheer nerve it takes to step out of the crowd. The pressure to conform is immense. Your friends, your family, your colleagues, often with the best of intentions, will advise you to be realistic. They will caution you against taking a risk. They will remind you of all the ways you could fail. They are the guardians of the status quo, the protectors of the comfortable average. When Astley Cooper reached for his handkerchief, do you not think someone in the crowd muttered, "What does he think he's doing?" When Mrs. Fry walked into Newgate, do you not imagine the so-called sensible people called her a fool? To be ready for your opportunity means you must be ready to be misunderstood. You must be willing to endure the temporary scorn of the crowd to earn the eternal respect of your own conscience. Your vision, by its very nature, will be invisible to others at first. They see the acorn. You must see the mighty oak. They see the block of marble. You must see the angel waiting to be released. This is the burden and the glory of the leader, the innovator, the creator. You must have faith in your own unseen world until you can carve it into a reality that everyone else can witness. The fear of failure is the most potent poison to the human will. It paralyzes more potential than all the armies of the world. But what is failure? Is it falling down? No. Every child falls 100 times before they learn to walk. Failure is not falling down, it is staying down. It is refusing to get back up, dust yourself off and take the next step. The great opportunity often comes disguised as an insurmountable failure. It is the moment when all seems lost that you have the greatest chance to show what you are made of. Your greatest victory will often be born from the ashes of your worst defeat. Procrastination is the silent thief of destiny. It is a poison administered in tiny daily doses. It whispers sweet lullabies of tomorrow into your ear, while it steals today's priceless possibilities right out of your pocket. The young surgeon could not say, "Let the patient bleed until tomorrow. I shall be more prepared then." Astley Cooper could not say, "I will find a better handkerchief later." There is a power, a magic, a divine momentum that comes only from acting with immediacy. The moment you fully commit to a course of action, 100 unforeseen forces rush to your aid. But they will not appear for the person who is merely thinking about it. You must begin. And do not mistake motion for action. It is possible to be incredibly busy but achieve absolutely nothing. You can spend your entire day answering emails, attending meetings, and shuffling papers, and be no closer to your great goal. This is the trap of the modern age. You must distinguish between the urgent and the important. The important is that which builds your future, the deep work that prepares you for your opportunity. The urgent is the noise of the world, demanding your attention but offering no real reward. You must have the discipline to ignore the siren song of the urgent and focus on the silent call of the important. Every great achievement in history was, at its inception, declared to be impossible. The telephone, the airplane, the idea of landing a man on the moon. These were the fevered dreams of madmen until they were made real by the force of human will. When you set a great goal for yourself, you will be met with a chorus of impossibles. But I say to you, the word impossible is not a fact. It is an opinion. It is the excuse of those who have given up. It is the comfortable refuge of the timid. Your job is to take that word and smash it to pieces with the hammer of your actions. Your environment is critical. You cannot soar with eagles if you continue to scratch with turkeys. Associate with people who lift you up, who challenge you, who believe in the giant within you. The quality of your conversations determines the quality of your thoughts. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your actions. If your circle is constantly discussing limitations, gossip, and problems without solutions, you are poisoning your own mind. Seek out the Marden societies of your own life. Find the thinkers, the doers, the believers. Create a mastermind alliance whose sole purpose is mutual encouragement and the achievement of great goals. Now, let us make this intensely personal. You may say to me, Dr. Marden, that is a fine story about Mrs. Fry, but I am not a Quaker social reformer. I am a clerk, a student, a stay-at-home parent. And I say to you, my friend, that the prison of Newgate is no more formidable than the prison of your own routine. The howling mob she faced is no more chaotic than the chorus of self-doubts that scream in your own mind. Her opportunity was to bring order to a physical prison. Your opportunity is to bring order to your own life, to your own mind, to your own small corner of the world. The principle is precisely the same. You might protest, but Astley Cooper saved a life. My work feels so insignificant in comparison. What a falsehood. The parent who prepares their child with confidence in character is saving a life from mediocrity. The artist who creates a work of beauty that uplifts a single soul is saving that soul from despair. The entrepreneur who builds a business that provides good jobs is saving families from poverty. Do not measure the grandeur of the act. Measure the quality of the preparation and the courage of the execution. A small hinge can swing a mighty door. Your seemingly small, prepared act can be the hinge that opens the door to a vast and unforeseen future. You say, but I am not the young surgeon. I don't have a critical life or death operation before me. And I say to you, the mountain of self-doubt you face is a greater obstacle than any physical ailment. The Alps which Napoleon crossed were but molehills compared to the mountains of apathy and fear that keep men and women from their true calling. Your critical operation is today. It is the choice to either submit to your fears or to perform the surgery on your own mindset, to cut out the cancer of I can't and replace it with the beating heart of I will. That is a surgery for which you need no license but the license of your own will. Your great opportunity will likely not announce itself with trumpets and fanfare. It will arrive disguised as hard work. It will look you squarely in the eye and ask for sweat, for effort, for a level of commitment you were not sure you had in you. The modern world has sold you a comfortable lie. The lie of the life hack, the shortcut, the path of least resistance. But I tell you, there is no hack for greatness. There is no shortcut to the summit of real achievement. The path is, and always has been, through the valley of relentless preparation and up the steep, rugged ascent of courageous action. All else is a shimmering, worthless illusion. So I ask you again, my friend, are you prepared? Not for some far-off imaginary event, but for the opportunity that is staring you in the face, right now, today. It may be the opportunity to forgive someone and unburden your own soul. It may be the opportunity to finally write the first page of that business plan. It may be the opportunity to have that difficult but necessary conversation. It may be the opportunity to learn that new skill you've put off for months. Do not dismiss it because it seems small. The mighty oak was once a nut that held its ground. Your great life will not be born from one single event, but will be the sum of these small opportunities, seized with great courage. The time for waiting is over. The season for excuses has passed. Your life is not a dress rehearsal. This is the main performance. Every day the curtain rises on a new act, and you are the star. Will you play the part of the hero or the victim? The creator or the critic? The captain of your soul or a passenger on a ship with no rudder? The universe is waiting for your decision. Your family, your community, your very future is waiting for you to step into the role you were born to play. The role of the one who is prepared. Now is the time for a new kind of declaration. A declaration of intent to the world, and far more importantly, to yourself. The simple, deliberate act of stating your ambition aloud, or writing it down where you can see it, gives it incredible power. It transforms a vague wish floating in your mind into a concrete project here in the real world. It is your first great step in bending reality to your will. Therefore, I charge you, my friends, my fellow champions of the human spirit, to take that step right now. Do not close this video and say, "That was interesting." Use the energy of this moment. Use this as the starting pistol for your own glorious race. So here is your first challenge, your first tangible opportunity to act upon what you have heard. I want you to go to the comments section below this very video. I want you to join this community of strivers. And I ask you this specific, empowering question. What is the one great ambition you will now pursue without hesitation, without excuse? Write it down, make it plain. Declare it to the world and to yourself. Let that simple physical act of typing be your Astley Cooper moment. Let it be your personal commitment to staunch the bleeding of wasted time and unrealized potential. Let it be your public vow. This is your first victory. And for those of you who are in the thick of the fight, for those of you facing your own Alps of doubt right now, I have a second invitation. Declare your challenge in the comments. Do not describe it as a problem, but as a declaration of intent to conquer. Say, my challenge is launching my new business, or my challenge is finishing my degree. This act alone is your first step towards conquering it. It is you, planting your flag at the base of the mountain, signaling to yourself and to everyone here that you are beginning the climb. This community will stand with you. Now go, prepare, act, and conquer.